up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of BMGPG. I'll be your host, Bryson.
And I'll be your co-host, Ben.
And today we're going to do a full-on mock draft with the Cowboys with no trades. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe and go check out our TikTok, BamGPG.
That's right, Bryson. So we are going to do a 4-round mock draft with the Cowboys today. So we're making our way through all 32 NFL teams and
Cowgirls.
Cowgirls. That's right. So as we make our way through all 32 NFL teams in a 4-round mock draft, we are on the Cowboys today. So we're going to take a look at their position of need, as well as best available that is on the board when our pick comes up. So we are picking 12th in the first round with the Cowboys. So Bryson, our positions of need are going to be running back, wide receiver, guard, and a defensive end, that edge rusher. So with that, Bryson, I'm going to go ahead and kick this draft off here, and we will get on the board here. I'll take the first pick. Quick recap, Abdul Carter went to Tennessee, the edge rusher from Penn State. Like him a lot, top on the board as far as edge rushers for me. Travis Hunter, cornerback Colorado, went to the Browns. Probably the best pound-for-pound player in the draft this year. And then Cam Ward, probably the top quarterback in the draft, is going to be sitting under Jameis Winston in New York. So Cam Ward going to the Giants. Will Campbell, tackle from LSU, going to the Patriots, and then Ashton Genty, the top running back in this year's draft class, going to Jacksonville. Jacksonville needs a ton of help on their defense, in particular their defensive back. I think that's probably where they go in this year's draft class early. Maybe some movement up or down with the trade. But for this mock draft, they went with Ashton Genty and then McMillan, wide receiver. So Oakland's getting another wide receiver in McMillan. And scrolling down here, the Bears went with a safety. So this is an interesting one. The Bears went with a safety, Starks from Georgia.
They do need a safety.
They do. They do need a safety. So that brings us here, Bryson, to pick 12. So again, we need running back, wide receiver, guard, and an edge rusher. So I'm going to pull up our edge rushers, right? I like those premier positions. I like to address those first. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those up. So Mike Green is the top of the board. I have him number 2 overall as far as edge rushers in this year's draft class. He graded out at 92.4 this year, Bryson. He had 17 sacks, 10 quarterback hits, 32 hurries, 1 batted pass. So his pass rush grade, 91.4. Defensive grade was a 90.2. So guy's a great he knows how to get to the quarterback. 6'4", 248. So he's got decent size to him for a defensive end. Again, it's hard to overlook those 17 sacks and 32 hurries on the quarterback. We got pick 12. I'm not going to let Mike Green slip through us here. So Dallas, I'm going to take an edge rusher for you guys here, Mike Green.
Okay.
So Bryson, this will bring us back around. Again, we have 2 more picks here. And I want to scroll back up just see who landed in Green Bay here. So Green Bay in the first round took Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle from Texas in this draft. So that's an interesting one. The Chiefs strengthen their defensive line. Derek Harmon from Oregon. I like him a lot. To me, he's probably on my board. I have him. I got the guy out of Michigan, but to me, I think Derek Harmon's probably the top defensive lineman in this year's draft class. I like him a lot. He's got great size, knows how to get to the quarterback. But digressing here a little bit, Bryson, that brings us to pick 44, and you are on the board. So we've addressed our edge rusher early. We're still looking for a running back, wide receiver, and a guard.
Let's look at wide receiver.
So wide receiver, so top of the board, a guy that we are pretty familiar with. We've covered him a lot. Jaden Higgins, wide receiver from Iowa State, on the board.
Take a look at him.
All right, so Jaden Higgins. So we know he's got great size to him, right? He's 6'4", 215. He graded out at a 90.3 this season, over 1,100 yards on the year. Receiving grade 90.5. Pretty decent contested catch rate at 58.3, and his grade versus man coverage is excellent as well, 87.8. So Jaden Higgins, he's not going to overpower you with his athleticism, but he's a deep threat down the field. The guy uses his hands. He knows how to high point the ball, doesn't do a lot of body catches, uses his hands quite a bit, and he's not afraid to block when he needs to as well. So pretty versatile wide receiver out of Iowa State here.
Yeah, let's take him.
Jaden Higgins. So, Dallas, we have your wide receiver here in Jaden Higgins in the second round. So, we're going to go ahead and pick him up. And that will bring us to our last pick in this 4-round mock draft for the Dallas Cowboys here. Yeah, just 3 picks here. So, we took our edge and wide receivers. So, let's see if we can find a gem here in running backs in the 3rd round. So RJ Harvey from UCF is still on the board. He graded out an 85.1, had 1,578 yards on the season, 6.8 yards per carry, had 22 touchdowns on the season. Fantastic rushing grade of 89.5. And yards after contact, that's a number I like to look at. Slightly, down a little bit, 3.88. I love those guys that can get 4 or above on those. Size wise, he's 5'9", 208. Again, pretty prototypical for a running back. RJ Harvey. So that, and then we'll go down one more to DJ Giddens here. He graded out 75.7, 6.5 yards per carry on 1,343 yards. Rushing grade at 85. And yards after contact, I like that, 4.16 with him. He's 6'1", 212, so he's got decent size to him as a running back here, Bryson. I'm going to toss this one up to you. I'm going to let you go ahead and pick. We can take a look at Devin Neal, too, if you'd like.
Let's take RJ Harvey.
RJ Harvey from UCF, running back. So we're going to draft him here in the 3rd round for Dallas. So that'll round out our 4-round mock draft here, Bryson, with the Dallas Cowboys. Again, they have 3 picks in the first 4 rounds of this year's draft class. As it sits now, possibly could change as we get closer to the draft, draft day trades, things like that. But take a look at our grades here. So Mike Green, solid A, edge rusher from Marshall. I like him a lot. Jaden Higgins, also love him a lot, wide receiver from Iowa State. And RJ Harvey, running back from UCF with a B. So overall grade on the draft is an A- for the Dallas Cowboys.
I'll take it.
I'll take it too. So Cowboys fans, let us know what you think of this.
Top 35%.
Absolutely. So Cowboys fans, let us know what you think of this. Let us know in the comments who you'd take in the first 4 rounds of this year's draft class. Would you be happy with coming out of the first 4 rounds with Mike Green, Jaden Higgins, and RJ Harvey? I think that's a pretty solid draft class right there, Bryson. So let us know what you think in the comments. And Bryson, as always,
It's called Pat Go.